Welcome to the Book of Days Project. The Book of Days Project 2009 will attempt to read excerpts from Chambers' Book of Days and its entries all throughout the year of 2009. We begin, of course, with January the 1st. January the 1st, held in the Roman Catholic Church, is the festival of Sirentunticio Domini, observed as a feast in the Church of England on the same account. Born on this day, Baron Franz von Trenck in 1710, Edmund Burke 1730 in Dublin, Edward Stanley, Bishop of Norwich 1779, Francis Earl of Ellesmere 1800. Died on this date, Louis XII of France 1515, C.A. Helvetius 1772 in Paris. It is a feast day of Saint Fulgentius, Saint Odilo or Olu, the sixth abbot of Cluny, Saint Almachus, martyr, Saint Eugendus, abbot, Saint Fane or Fankia, Virgin of Ireland, Saint Mokua or Monkane, alias Clownus, abbot in Ireland, and Saint Medina, alias Cronan of Bala, abbot in Ireland. January the 1st, New Year's Day's festivities. As New Year's Day, the 1st of January bears a prominent place in the popular calendar. It has ever been a custom among northern nations to see the old year out and the new one in, with the highest demonstrations of merriment and conviviality. To but a few does it seem to occur that the day is a memorandum of the subtraction of another year from the little sum of life. With the multitude, the top feeling is a desire to express good wishes for the next 12 months' experience of their friends, and be the subject of similar benevolence on the part of others, and to see this interchange of cordial feeling take place as far as possible in festive circumstances. It is seldom that an English family fails to sit up on the last night of the year till 12 o'clock, along with a few friends, to drink a Happy New Year to each other over a cheerful glass. Very frequently, too, many persons nearly related but living apart dine with each other on this day, to keep alive and cultivate mutual good feeling. It cannot be doubted that a custom of this kind must tend to obliterate any shades of dissatisfaction or jealous anger that may have arisen during the previous year, and send the kindred onward through the next with renewed esteem and regard. To the same good purpose works the old custom of giving little presents among friends on this day. The King of Light, Father of Age Time, hath brought about that day which is the prime to the slow gliding months, when every eye wears symptoms of a sober jollity. Charles Lamb had a strong appreciation of the social character of New Year's Day. He remarks that no one of whatever rank can regard it with indifference. Of all sounds, of all bolts, says he, most solemn and touching is the peal which rings out the old year. I never hear it without a gathering up of my mind to a concentration of all the images that have been diffused over the past 12 months. All I have done or suffered, performed or neglected in that regretted time. I begin to know its worth as when a person dies. It takes a personal color. Nor was it a poetical flight in a contemporary when he exclaimed, I saw the skirts of the departing year. One could wish that genial Ella had added something in recommendation of resolutions of improvement of the year to come, for which Now Year's Day is surely a most appropriate time. Every 1st of January that we arrive at is an imaginary milestone on the turnpike track of human life. At once a resting place for thought and meditation, and a starting point for fresh exertion in the performance of our journey. The man who does not at least propose to himself to be better this year than he was last must be either very good or very bad indeed. And only to propose to be better is something. If nothing else, it is an acknowledgment of our need to be so, which is the first step towards amendment. But in fact, to propose to oneself to do well is in some sort to do well, positively, for there is no such thing as a stationary point in human endeavors. He who was not worse today than he was yesterday is better, and he who was not better is worse. The merrymakings of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are a very ancient date in England. The head of the house assembled his family around a bowl of spiced ale, comically called lamb's wool, from which he drank their health, though passed it to the rest, that they might drink too. The word that passed amongst them was the ancient Saxon phrase, was heil, that is, to your health. Hence, this came to be recognized as the wassail or wassail bowl, The poor people, or poor class of people, carried a bowl adorned with ribbons round the neighborhood, begging for something wherewith to obtain the means of filling it, that they too might enjoy wassail as well as the rich. In their compotations they had songs suitable to the occasion, of which a Gloucestershire example has been preserved. Wassail, wassail, over the town, our toast is white, our ale it is brown, our bowl it is made of the maplin tree, we be good fellows all, I drink to thee. What follows is an example apparently in use amongst children. Here we come a-wassailing among the leaves so green, here we come a-wandering, so fair to be seen, love and joy come to you, and to you we'll wassail too, and God send you a happy new year. Call up the butler of this house, put on his golden ring, let him bring up us a glass of beer, and the better we shall sing, etc., etc. The custom of wassail at the New Year was kept up in the monasteries as well as in private houses. In front of the abbot, at the upper end of the refectory table, was placed the mighty bowl styled in their language poculum caritatis, and from it the superior drank to all, and all drank in succession to each other. The corporation feasts of London still preserve a custom that affords a reflex of that of the wassail bowl, a double-handled flagon full of sweetened and spiced wine being handed to the master or other person presiding. He drinks, standing to the general health, as announced by the toastmaster, and passes it to his neighbor on the left hand, who drinks standing to his next neighbor, also standing, and so on it goes, till all have drunk. Such is the well-known ceremony of the Loving Cup. Till the very few years ago in Scotland, the custom of the wassail bowl at the passing away of the old year might be said to be still in comparative vigor. On the approach of 12 o'clock, a hot pint was prepared, that is, a kettle or flagon full of warm, spiced, and sweetened ale with an infusion of spirits. When the clock had struck the knell of the departed year, each member of the family drank of this mixture a good health and a happy new year, and many of them to all the rest, with a general handshaking, perhaps a dance round the table, with the addition of a song to the tune of Hey Tooty Tayteek. Will may we be, ill may we never see, here's to the king and the good company. The elders of the family would then most probably sally out with a hot kettle, and bearing also a competent provision of buns and shortbread, or bread and cheese, with the design of visiting their neighbors and interchanging with them the same cordial greetings. If they met by the way another party similarly bent, whom they knew, they would stop and give and take sips from their respective kettles. Reaching the friend's house, they would enter with vociferous good wishes, and soon send the kettle a-circulating. If they were the first to enter the house since 12 o'clock, they were deemed as the first foot, and as such it was most important for luck to the family in the coming year that they should make their entry not empty-handed, but with their hands full of cakes and breads and cheese, of which, on the other hand, civility demanded that each individual in the house should partake. To such an extent did this custom prevail in Edinburgh in their recollection of persons still living, that according to their account the principal streets were more thronged between 12 and 1 in the morning than they usually were at midday. Much innocent mirth prevailed, and mutual good feelings were largely promoted. Thus we have some excerpts from January 1st from Chambers' Book of Days. From the Book of Days Project, signing off till tomorrow.